everyone, Vampire218 here, bringing you another installment in my 999 Let's Play. In the last episode, we chose to go through the door with Snake and Seven, and we escaped that room, and now we are confronted with this big metal cell. After some time in the hallway, they emerged into a larger, more open area. A large metal grate, like the door of a jail, divided it in half. They shook for a while, but as they had expected, it did not move. Beyond the grate were two elevators. From so far away, however, it was difficult to tell if they were still operating. On the left side of the grate was a door. Unfortunately, however, it was locked and refused to open. Junpei took a moment to examine the left side of the room. Next to the wall was a set of stairs leading downward. Standing guard at the top of the stairway was a large iron gate. Foreboding as it was, the gate seemed to be the sort that could be opened, unlike the metal grate that bisected the room. With luck, Junpei hoped he might be able to get it open. The female symbol? He wasn't quite sure what to make of it. Snake, naturally, was somewhat more sure. Ah, the Venus symbol, I imagine. Do you recall the similar symbols near the large stairway? They referenced many of the solar bodies. Sun, Saturn, Earth. So, as you can see, that one is likely not the woman symbol, but a Venus symbol. So I assume. While they had been discussing the symbols, Junpei now realized that Seven had slipped away. His absence now felt. Snake and Junpei turned to look for their missing companion. There. Seven had left them to head down the hallway extending to the right of the stairs. Junpei grabbed Snake to lead him into the right direction, and they both headed off after Seven. Before long, the three of them stood in front of a door. It was a French door. Junpei tested the door and realized that, unlike so many of the others they had encountered, it was unlocked. Almost as though he was afraid if it would suddenly lock itself, Junpei threw the door open. He stepped inside. It only took a moment for Junpei to take in his new surroundings. Is this some kind of casino? Yeah, sure, looks like one. No, yeah, the Seven's voice is going to be a little bit different. Sorry about that. I'll try and get that back when he talks again. Before Junpei could commit further, a noise from behind him made him turn around. Snake was shaking. The door they'd just come through. As Seven and Junpei watched, he threw his hands up in frustration and kicked the door for good measure. It looked as though it were once again locked in. There was no reason to panic, however. Even if the door had been left open, there was nowhere for them to go back there. He would have to find another way out. They would have to find another way. Alright there, guys. Let's split up and search the room. Come on, no dawdling. Let's go. Quickly now. Spurred into action by Seven's words, Junpei and Snake began to examine the room. So now we're going to be in another escape section, it looks like. And again, I didn't even remember this. Oh, look at that. I do not like the way this looks. So, oh, what's on this table? There's a 6 of, is that clubs or spades? I can't tell. Oh, it's spades. Okay. Let's, is there something in the fire maybe? No? Oh, there's a card here. Didn't I think I'd find a card here? Well, a 6 card. Okay. And so, I bet there's something on here. Yeah. 3 card, and I'm willing to bet has something to do with it. That square table. It looks like a mahjong table. Do you play mahjong, Seven? Maybe. I don't really remember, but I do remember a couple of hands and some other rules. Figure I must have played it at some point. Excellent. Once we're vacated this vessel, I should like to play a game with you. Can you play? So long as you tell me which of the tiles I am eliminating, yes. I believe I have at least enough skill to defeat an amateur. However, I must ask you to remove the red tiles when we play. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be some kind of joke. I've never played Mahjong. So I bet I have to do something with a card, but we don't have, with a coin, but we don't have anything yet. So yeah, let's go over here. Okay. Check out the stained glass. How beautiful. What? Huh? Stained glass is colored pieces of glass placed together in a frame. As I've said many times before, I only need to touch to know it. I can at least discern the basic structure. So, I mean, that'd be kind of cool if you were blind. I mean, it wouldn't be cool if you were blind, but, I mean, I imagine it's not as bad as people who aren't blind make it out to be. Because, I mean, I imagine people think it's, like, super really bad, but Snake, I guess, makes it seem like it's really not. Looks like a card. Yeah, getting more cards. So now we have quite a few. Counter's pretty. Okay, so now we have, like, all of the... I feel like we have all of the cards. We have a lot of cards. So with that, I think, let's try and maybe turn on the light. Club, diamond, heart. Oh! And something fell down. What was that? I heard something down there. Club, diamond, heart. And now we have a coin bag, so that means we can do these. Okay. So I think it wants us to get a club, a diamond, and then a heart. What happened? I heard an odd noise. Well, to be honest, I don't know. I pressed some of the buttons and smacked the machine once or twice, but nothing happened. Oh, looks like the coin got stuck. Oh dear. It's a drawer they used to pick up money. It's locked tight. Okay, so this is probably not the machine. I wonder... Oh, let's try this one. Alright, let's drop this coin in the coin slot. Come on, you little bastards. I only need one of you. Oh, okay. There we go. 777. Yes, 777. And I think I hear something unlocking in there. Impressive, Junpei. It would appear to be unlocked now. There is nothing akin to the drawer in the bottom part of this machine, yeah? There's something. This is a pickup drawer for a dividend. Probably a lock for the drawer you've got unlocked. Please open it if you would. Okay, we're going to pick up another playing card and a key. What is it? Is there something in there? Yes, a playing card and a key with the Venus symbol on it. Excellent, Junpei. Now we will be able to open the gate. Then we just need to figure out a way out of this room. Correct. Come on, Junpei, hurry up. And he's off. There's a playing card and a Venus symbol. Better put these into my pocket for later. Now we have like a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 7. I'm not sure if we need an 8. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the... Oh, no, that's not it. We're going to go to the table and see what we need to do with them. Is this the table? Yes. So, wow, this place is super amazing. What's this place for? Probably for playing Baccarat. It looks... it looks a little off, though. Yeah, like, look at the middle of the table. There's something mounted on it. You see? And this. Suddenly, 7 began to speak. Baccarat. You ever played Junpei? Junpei shook his head. He had barely even heard of the game. Alright, how about I explain the rules to you a bit? See, Baccarat is kind of an unusual game. You got the banker and then the player. And the whole point is to guess which one's gonna win. And whether the banker or the player wins all depends on their hands. The way each hand works is different from other games, though. See, you can take the number from the ones you place after and add up the value of all your cards. Whoever gets the number closest to 9 wins. If your number is smaller than your opponent's, you lose. And that's it. That's the explanation. Got it? Well, there's a lot more to it. Strategy, details, all that sort of stuff. But what I just told you sums up the core of the game pretty well. The single-digit sum of all the cards you have, the strongest hand is a 9. And the weakest hand is a 0. You just gotta ignore the number in the 10 spot. You get it? He hadn't been asked for it, but 7 explanation rushed through it and he began. It had been helpful. Although he had only half understood most of it, Junpei now felt as though he had some basic grasp of how the victory was won in Baccarat. However, Junpei had no way of knowing the puzzle in the Baccarat table in front of him made the use of those rules, and if it did, in what way? No problem, he told himself. He would simply try everything he could think of. Feeling more confident, if only slightly, Junpei approached the Baccarat table. So I'm assuming I need to make a 9, right? So let's, I guess, we got a 4, a 3, and a 2. Hey, 7, am I really supposed to play Baccarat? It's Baccarat table. What the hell else are we gonna do? Stop worrying about it. It's real simple. What's the opponent's hand? Well, there's an 8 in the glass. Alright, then that's your opponent's number. If that's the number, 3 cards. Okay, so we need to make 9. 3 cards. Yeah, a couple of indentations with the white lenses around them. Means we gotta put down 3 cards. Place 3 cards and defeat the opponent's 8. That's what I've gotta do, I guess. Yeah, I think so. Something tells me those aren't the only rules. Let's give this a shot. So, before I start, I better make sure I've got the rules straight, yeah. And it's just going to explain the rules, and this is, again, one of my main downsides of this game. It's pretty clear what I got to do. Alright, let's give this a try. I got to make a 9. So. Oh, what the hell? Oh. Okay, 4. And 2 for 6. And 3 for 9. Look at that. And now we get an 8. Great, you did it, Junpei. You think it's telling us to take the 8 card? Come on, let's grab it. Now we're going to take the 8 card. And the 3 cards I put down are stuck to the table. They won't be going anywhere anytime soon, so we can't take those back. But now that we have the 8 card, I believe that we can escape with this machine somehow. Okay, yeah, because there's an ace in there. We need to make a 9. Look at that. Let's give this a shot. And we're going to throw the 8. Look at that. Real simple. And now we've got to make 9 out of 3 numbers. There are 3 slots in this one. So now we've got to make 9 out of 3 numbers. And how many cards do I have? We got to make a 9 with the 3 cards in the slots, right? Just like we did over at our Baccarat table. Let's give it a shot. I have 3 cards. I wonder if I just throw them in, if they're going to magically equal 9. They do. Alright, so I put all the cards we had left into the slots. Duh, what happens now? Is that... Yes, I heard something from the exit. Excellent work, Junpei. Wonderful. It seems the exit is unlocked. Let's go. Look at that. Alright, let's go! And we found the exit. I do like the smaller puzzles like that. Like, that's a really tiny escape room. Some of them are pretty long and take basically an entire episode. But that wasn't bad at all. Junpei and his companions ran out of the casino into a large open room. A room, in fact, that they had been in once before. There was little to surprise them there. They already knew what the next step had to be. The iron gate stood in place, locked tight behind, blocking the stairway. In the center of the gate was the keyhole, engraved with the Venus symbol. This time, however, Junpei had the Venus key in his pocket. Wasting no time, he pulled it out and shoved it into the keyhole. He turned it. With the distinctive sound of metal on metal, he felt the lock click open. Alright, let's get this thing open. No problem, let me help you with that, boss. Junpei grabbed the handle on the left side, and 7 took the handle on the right. And on Junpei's signal, they both pushed, and the gate creaked open. And this is also very good animation for a DS game in, like, 2008. I think. So, I mean, that is really good for, like, DS. So, and not even, like, the end of the DS's life cycle, like, mid-life cycle DS. And especially for a company that did, like, very little. It sounds as though you've opened it. We should be able to reach C-Deck now, I imagine. Snake, are you going to be alright? I mean, the stairs? Oh, please, do not worry. Do not do yourself the embarrassment of underestimating me. I would be unlikely to trip even if I were running backwards. Good to hear it. Let's move. At Seven's words, they leapt onto the stairs and quickly jogged down them. In no time, they found themselves on C-Deck. Junpei ran down the stairs a little further in hopes of checking the deck below. When he reached the water, he called back up to Snake and Seven. Just what I thought. D-Deck is completely underwater. Just like the bottom of this central staircase. The surface of the water below was flat like a mirror. That it had not changed too greatly since they last seen it was a great relief. Junpei quickly retraced his steps and headed back to C-Deck. In front of the stairs were a pair of elevators. They appeared to be identical to the ones from the upper floor. Between them, attached to the wall, was another card reader. And next to that was another strange symbol. Hey, check it out, it's the symbol for Lotus. The what? See, it's got the woman symbol and it's got the devil horns, right? Yeah, you a funny one, boss. Yeah, I say, no two ways about it. That's a pretty good one, kid. Seven tousled Junpei's hair in what he likely thought to be a friendly manner. Junpei feared his neck might break, even though it was clear Seven had kept his strength in check. Thankfully, Snake interrupted. After Junpei's observation, he'd gone over to examine the card reader. This is the Mercury symbol. The marks you mistook for horns are the stylized version of wings and the staff of Hermes. Wings and a staff, huh? So she beats you with the staff until you die and you go to heaven. Sounds like Lotus, alright. You're killing me, boss. Seven shook Junpei's head even more vigorously, and the younger man began to just feel as though his brain were being jostled around inside of his skull. He began to feel rather ill. Unless we can activate this device, I doubt the elevator will function. In other words, we've got to find a keycard with the Mercury symbol on it. So I would assume. They decided to leave the elevators alone for the time being and headed back to the stairs. To the left was another hallway. There were a great many doors lining both sides of the hallway. They seemed to stretch on forever, and all three men suddenly felt very small. Oh shit, we're not gonna have time to check all of these, are we? Maybe we can come back here later. Let's check out the other side. They turned around and went back to the way they came. To the right of the stairs, another hallway stretched out deep into the bowels of the ship. A few moments of moving briskly down the hallway, they emerged into an area roughly the same size and shape as the one on top of the stairs. On the left side of the room were 4 French doors. Well, let's open them up. Junpei nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it move. It was unlocked. Thrilled to have found another unlocked door, he threw it open. Junpei didn't know what to make of what he saw. So it looks like there's 3 doors, a 3, a 7, and an 8. He simply stood, unable to speak. Seven's eyes opened and his mouth gaped. After a few long moments, Seven at last managed to speak. Hey, what is this place? A massive room stretched out in front of them. More a cavern than a room. Its vastness was impressive, and it bore down on Seven and Junpei. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds. They were simple little things, little more than pipe and thin mattresses. Is this a hospital? He had at least been able to put a name to the harsh scent that pervaded the room. The room was full of clean smell of antiseptic solution. In the center of the room were shelves stacked with medicine and a number of medical devices, the function of which he did not know. More importantly, however, on the back wall of the room were 4 doors. 3 of them were emblazoned with large single-digit numbers made of thick red paint. The door on the left was labeled 3. The second door from the left had no number. The third had been given a 7. The door on the right bore an 8. There could be no doubt they were numbered doors. It did strike Junpei as strange, however, that the doors between 3 and 7 should be blank. What he wondered could it mean? Let's take a look at those doors. Yeah, good idea. The three of them threaded their way through the beds towards the back of the room. And, I'm pretty sure they're all going to be locked. I mean, it makes sense. Yep, locked. Just what I thought. Naturally. After all, the rules to the nonary game and allow these doors to open easily would violate those rules. Unless we can authenticate ourselves with the red, the numbered doors will. Whoa, check this out. Suddenly, Seven spoke up, interrupting Snake. Look at the red. There's nothing on it. Huh? Don't you remember the red back at the main staircase? If there wasn't anyone in it, it said vacant on the little screen, remember? Oh yeah, you're right. But this one, there's nothing. Right? You think it's broken? Only one way to find out. Junpei and the others put their hands on the panel, but nothing happened. The red refused to change. They tried pulling the lever and still nothing. As soon as they discovered it wasn't only the red on door number 8, they seemed to be malfunctioning. The red on door number 7 and the red on door number 3. None of them worked. What, they wondered, did it mean? They've got to be broken. That bastard didn't think Zero was the kind of guy to screw up around something like this. Whoa, Zero's been prepared for everything so far. And you're saying he's going to make a mistake now? Well, that's the only thing I could think of. This thing ain't working at all. While Junpei and Seven talked, Snake busied himself examining the red. After a time, he lowered his hands and spoke. It seems as if some of the internal hardware has been removed. Internal hardware? That is what I said. Take a look at the underside of the red, if you please. Junpei obliged and looked over at the underside of the device. A thin, long slit ran along the bottom of it. As he looked harder, he realized it was more of a slot than a slit, and that it was clearly meant to accommodate some sort of electronic device. The other two reds were the same. Something clearly had been removed from all three of them. I get it. So the reds aren't working because somebody pulled out their guts. So I assume. But what? Why? And who? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I have no idea. Why on earth would I know something like that? Just then, they heard the sound of a door opening. The three of them turned around and saw Akane! Oh no, wait, Junpei thought it's June! Oh fuck, these voices are gonna be hard. Good thing it's almost the end of the session. She stopped short, surprised to see them, and was very nearly bowed over by the rest of the companions who were coming through the door behind her. Ace, Santa, Clover, and Lotus all poured out of the door. Each of them was surprised last to see Junpei, Snake, and Seven. Junpei and Seven were, for a moment, at a loss for words. What are you guys doing? Why are you... After a moment of silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, exchange information. They talked about the rooms they had been through, and how they'd ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply spew in with another again. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each one of them was wearing some manner of a smile. Almost as they had been forgotten about the death of the ninth man. No, thought Junpei, perhaps that wasn't it. Perhaps thoughts of his death were what drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no, the ninth man had died. But they were still alive, and that was something to be happy about. A sort of simple, uncomplicated joy. Junpei thought the joy of being alive. Still alive. He felt sorry for the ninth man. But more than anything, Junpei was happy to just be alive. This is bad, though. Oh, wait, yeah, that's not her voice. If the red isn't working and we can't keep going, what about the big hallway? Maybe there's something in there we might be able to go. No, there's nothing there. The five of us had a quick look. There were a great many rooms, although none of them appeared to have held patients for quite some time. Duh, patients? You mean all those doors are for hospital rooms? Yes. Apparently, they have a number of individual rooms in addition to this large central room. Okay. There was a door down at the end of the hallway too, but it was locked. It had one of those solar system marks things on it. It was the Jupiter symbol. Jupiter? I wonder what it means. Confusion seemed to be the consensus. That reminds me, what's the deal with this big room anyway? What is this thing? Was this some kind of huge passenger ship? No one, not even Snake, appeared ready to offer an answer until Sullivan unexpectedly spoke up. I bet it's a hospital ship. In fact, it's probably the Gigantic. The Gigantic? Junpei looked at Seven, shocked both by his knowledge and apparent identity of their prison. He was not the only one. What's the Gigantic? Or the Gigantic? Okay, yeah, you know what? It probably is Gigantic. Yeah, we'll call it the Gigantic. Seven nodded to Lotus and began to speak. The Gigantic. He explained that there had been a similar sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century. The Titanic had two sister ships who were identical to one another in nearly every aspect. The Gigantic was said to be one of them. She was initially intended to be a passenger liner, like the Titanic, but soon after the ship launched, the First World War began, and she had pressed into duty by the British Navy as a hospital ship. Sometime later, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in the Aegean. I have no idea. Aegean Sea? She managed to run around the incident and consequently was not sunk. What then happened to the Gigantic after the fateful encounter at the Aegean Sea? One theory ran that a man named Lord Gordian purchased her. Lord Gordian, it seemed, had been one of the few survivors of the Titanic tragedy, and the trauma had turned him into an obsessive collector of things related to the Titanic. And his obsession deepened. He began to desire the Titanic itself. This, of course, was impossible. The Titanic lay at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. The Gigantic, however, had not suffered the dire fate, and she was identical to her sister ship. She caught Lord Gordian's eye. So you're saying this Lord Gordian bought the ship? Yeah. At least, I think I am. That's impossible. No way we're in some boat from almost 100 years ago. Pipe down. Just pay attention. What? That's it? Well, have you got any proof? Proof? Proof the ship is really the Gigantic. Oh, well, the ship's got stuff that looks like that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship. So I just figured. Oh, for goodness, don't tell me that that's your only reason. No, I got more. Like? Well, I mean... Seven looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus's piercing stare. He scratched his head for a moment, then gave up. Finally, he opened his mouth. I don't know. Lotus sighed and shook her head. I guess her memory isn't back yet, is it? No, sorry. Then Oma says to save Seven from further embarrassment. A bell began to ring from far away. It seemed as though it was the clock at the main stairwell. Junpei counted each chime carefully. 10, 11, 12. It's midnight. And we've still got 6 hours left, right? Let's just get moving. We gotta find that hardware the Reds are missing. Alright, that's good, but where are we gonna look? Well, we've already searched over the big patient room. They've been examining the room as they talked. But we haven't found nothing, right? Well, there's only one thing left to do. Just one? No, well, it's not just one. It's, wait a minute. Are you telling me we have to search all of these rooms? Well, you've already checked some of them out before, right? We checked a single room, so... We each checked a single room, so 5 rooms in total. Alright then, that's 5 rooms we don't gotta search. If we split up, it won't be that bad. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have 48 rooms cleared in no time. There are 48 other rooms? Lotus did not seem excited by the prospect. 7 fidgeted nervously before responding. Maybe? I've been Vampire218, bringing you this part of my 999 Let's Play. If you like the video and you want to see more of this content or anything else I do, please make sure to leave a like, share, comment, favorite, and subscribe. Bye!